Hello, my beautiful buds. Welcome back to my channel, Sprouts with Joy. My name is Joy, and if you'd like to talk about plants, you're in the right place. If you follow my channel regularly, you might know that I am in the midst of a THRIPS outbreak, which is not fun at all. So I just got done treating a bunch of my plants for THRIPS, and yeah, it's my first time getting THRIPS. I'll just link the video in the cards if you're interested in following that journey of mine. But suffice it to say, I'm feeling pretty mentally and emotionally exhausted from that ordeal, and I have like a crick in my neck, so I can't like turn it any farther than this. So, you know, we're struggling today. However, we're nearing the end of the month, so it's time for November favorites. And frankly, even though like I'm not really in the most optimistic of moods, I think that it's probably healthy for me to take a look at my collection and lean into the plants that are making me happy when so many of them are not. And I mean, I guess in the spirit of Thanksgiving, because it's like that time of year, I do want to show some gratitude to, let's see, I think I picked out 4 plants, so it's not a whole lot of plants today, and it's going to be like a little bit on the quicker side because I have to go continue treating my plants for THRIPS. But let's pause, be mindful and thankful for what's going well. First plant I want to talk about is my Alocasia Okinawa Silver Variegated. And do you see? Okay, just take a moment to look at this plant. Look at each of these gorgeous, gorgeous leaves. Oh my word, she's breathtaking. And I don't know how well you can see, but she's got lots of roots growing that are like white and juicy. You can see them there. I am so happy with this plant. Actually, this leaf right here is the newest leaf to emerge. It's quite fresh. It's like still hardening off and everything. It's beautiful. Like just objectively speaking, looking at it, I'm very, very pleased with how this is growing. But I do want to highlight, I don't remember exactly when I repotted this. It was relatively recently, maybe towards the end of the summer, a couple months back. When I got this plant, it was just in a plastic pot, and it went down to, I think, 1 or 2 leaves. When I got it, it had maybe 5 leaves or 4 leaves or something like that. It went down to way fewer leaves, and I was pretty concerned about it. It was not thriving initially because it had to acclimate to my environment, but I just had to trust and have faith that it would pull through as it acclimated to my environment. And honestly, so I did end up repotting it into no drainage, into this little glass vessel, and I've got a layer of leca at the bottom and chunky soil. And then I did put it in the greenhouse cabinet as well. Although I think that it was in the greenhouse cabinet previously. So really, I think that it is the no drainage that is making the difference. But anyway, just so that you're aware, that's its current conditions. And honestly, over the last like month and a half, it has completely taken off beyond, like far and beyond what it was before. Like it's probably given me 4 new leaves at least. Let's see. So I think, let me try to parse this out. I think that it had this leaf and maybe like this leaf or something like that. Only those 2. So yeah, it gave me these 4 new leaves within the last 2 months, if not, you know, 6 weeks or something along those lines. So honestly, it has taken off completely. And I already showed you the roots, like all those like really fresh looking white roots are all new root growth. So overall, this plant is doing very well. And I'm just tickled because there's something about plants, you know, making progress, especially if they weren't doing well before. As soon as something clicks or you do something different in their care and it works, oh my gosh, the satisfaction is incredible. Okay, this right here is my Euphorbia lactea, I believe, or like Euphorbia white ghost or something along those lines. And it is a wee plant. It's so small, I know, but I really wanted to highlight this plant because, okay, I got it, I want to say in June of 2023. That was a year and a half ago, and pretty much the whole year I had it, from June 2023 until June 2024. I had it inside in good lighting, but like, yeah, it didn't do anything for me at all. I was halfway convinced that it was dead, but I did put it outside over the summer and it just took off. So it probably grew like this much which I know it seems like there's not much, but trust me. So if you look in there, there's more cactus. I just potted it very shallow because it doesn't have a very robust root system. So it was probably about here. And all this right here is new growth from over the summertime, which, I mean, compared to what it was before, oh my word, like that is incredible progress. And then in a recent video, I did so many plant chores in a single video and did lots of rearranging and that sort of thing. And in that video, which I suppose I guess I can also link in the cards above if you need to catch up on my videos, I repotted a bunch of plants, including this plant. So this had been in like, just like a little plastic black pot that was not very exciting at all. But I decided to pot it in this ivy main pot. And so first, this plant grew a lot, which is like 5 stars, A+, very happy with that. But this plant in this pot, okay, if you like have the right plant and pot combination, something about that is so incredible. I mean, I never really like would have thought, I was originally just gonna put it in terracotta, which I think would have looked nice, but like this is incredible. I love ivy main pottery, first of all, but like, oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with how this looks. Because just look at how the color complements each other, because this has almost like a tealish green, like a bluish green to it, along with the white. And then it just goes so well with the color of this pot. I'm just obsessed. And I'm pretty sure this pot is like inspired by deserts and stuff anyway. So this is a great planter to pair with cacti and euphorbia, in my opinion. And I just think that it's perfect. So I hope that it likes its new home. It was potted into this very recently, so it's still kind of acclimating. I also did put it in a new location underneath my Grove SOLTECH grow light, and I'm hoping that that is a good combination, and maybe it will actually grow over the winter time if it's getting enough light, because apparently, yeah, it wanted the light and warmth of the summertime. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe I will break out my heating mat this winter as it gets colder for this plant and see if it actually like does progress for me, because like that would be wonderful. And if you don't know, like this plant has the potential to get super, super large and branching, and I can't wait for that to happen. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, obviously it's super slow growing, so we might even live in a new house by the time it gets anywhere near that size. We'll see. This next plant is my philodendron white princess. And if you remember any of like the history behind this plant, I had a previous philodendron white princess I ended up chopping up, and I love it. I still actually have a cutting of it up in my prop box, because eventually, long term, I would love to pot it up with this plant once it's ready. But I had gotten this plant, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm mixing up all of the dates now. It may have been a year ago, like last year, like that sounds about right. A year ago in like October of 2023, I got this plant at a greenhouse, and they had like a whole ocean of philodendron white princesses, and I thought to myself, okay, I wonder if they have any that have any sort of pink variegation, because I've always wanted a white princess with the pink variegation, and they did. I found one that had it, and maybe I can find like a picture of what it looked like when I first got this plant with that beautiful, beautiful pink leaf. And about 2 months ago, maybe, that leaf died off because it was one of the older leaves, and you know, that happens. Leaves have an expiration date, like they don't live forever, generally speaking. So I was very bummed about that. However, I was holding out hope that we would get more pink leaves. And you know, we got pretty close up here as it was unfolding. I was freaking out because I was thinking maybe it would be a pink leaf, because it's pink on the underside, however not on the front. Of course, it wanted to like trick me, but I kept seeing like all this vibrant pink on the petiole, and I'm sure you already kind of saw it, but ta-da! The last few leaves that have come out have been pink. Now, granted, they are on the smaller side, so it's not, you know, as grand and glorious as that original pink leaf that I bought this plant with. However, I mean, just look at that like sectorial variegation there. That's so pretty. And this is like almost entirely pink, honestly. So I'm honestly just so happy that I've gotten pink on this plant yet again. I just love it. And, you know, I enjoy pink princesses and that sort of thing, but I think I prefer the white princess because I feel that the pink on the pink princess, sometimes you'll get bright pink like this, but most of the time it's a little bit more of a burgundy color, or you might get little speckles of pink and white. But with this white princess, I'm getting like really distinct sectoral variegation along with really distinct white parts as well, which I also really love. So just the combination of the two is so perfectly pleasing. And in addition to that, I did move this plant during my rearranging video. I swapped it from being up in my guest bedroom, which is also kind of doubles as one of my main planty spaces. I had it in front of south-facing window and it was doing fine, but it was drying out very, very quickly. I did bring this down and kind of swapped places with the philodendron Florida Ghost. And now that this is in my living room and I'm seeing it all the time and I'm seeing these pink leaves, I mean, for a while it was like a little bit more of an afterthought, but something about seeing a plant consistently can sometimes improve your appreciation for that plant. And seeing it in a fresh space, in a new space, can just reframe your understanding of how you see a plant. And you know, I never stopped liking this plant, but I think I did kind of stop loving it because it kind of grew old, or you just kind of like, oh, you know, same old, whatever. But yeah, now that it's in a new space that looks really, really elegant in my opinion, and I'm seeing it more consistently, and I'm being reminded of how much I enjoy like the pink and the variegation and that sort of thing, I am more pleased with it. So yeah, it makes a big difference. And then last but not least, this is my Opuntia or prickly pear cactus. I don't know if this is like any specific species of Opuntia. I mean, I'm sure it is, but like, I've heard of like lots of different subspecies and whatever that are out there. I'm sure that this is the most basic of Opuntia that you can get. I just don't know like the specific species name of it beyond Opuntia. So excuse me for that. However, I mean, it's most commonly known as prickly pear cactus, so I guess that will just have to do for now. But anyway, I want to be careful to not have this hit my face because it does have, you know, little needles on it. But I got this at Home Depot probably 2 years ago at this point. It was a long time ago. I did like a little big box store plant shopping thing, and I found this Opuntia, which had been recently added to my wish list. And I've always enjoyed, like, as far as cacti go, I mean, I'm not a super big cactus girl. I am an appreciator, but I'm not like a massive cacti collector. But this one has always stood out to me as one that I really like. I've kept it outside for the last 2 summers that I've had it. And then when I bring it inside, I have started overwintering it in the basement. So I did actually bring this back upstairs from the basement. And I found that that actually works out really well for this plant. As far as new growth goes, just for like a little bit of background and history on this plant, because I really don't talk about this plant that often on my channel. When I originally got it, it looked like this, where it had 2 petals. 2 summers ago, one of the petals broke off, but I successfully propagated it, and that was this petal right here. So technically these 2 petals were the original components of the plant, except they were, you know, attached to each other, if that makes sense. But each of them have since grown new petals. So now we have 4 petals, and they were actually potted up separately, but earlier this month I potted them together in a brand new pot. And frankly, having them potted together has made the biggest difference in the way that I see this plant. I'm honestly, frankly, kind of obsessed with it now, where before I liked it, but I wasn't that excited about it. But now for some reason, when I see it, I'm like, okay, like it's just the composition or whatever, just like the having, I don't know, I wasn't sure how I was going to feel. Oh, I almost dropped it. That would have been bad. Woo. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about having them potted in the same pot together. But now that they are, I'm just like, I love it. And I can't wait to bring it outside in the summer next year and see if it continues growing for me. So yeah, I'm just overall very happy with the growth of this plant. Obviously it's a cactus, so it's been like slightly more slow growing, but I don't know, it's interesting because the petals like came up so quickly, but you know, it only really has enough energy to like put out 1 maybe over the course of the summer. And so you just get like 1 per year. I'm sure in different environments, or maybe as it gets bigger, it'll grow faster. I don't really know. It's been very fun to watch. And frankly, maybe I need more slow growing plants in my collection, because with a collection that's my size, I just tend to get a little bit overwhelmed with the plants that like grow like absolute crazy and then become these massive plants that I just don't have the space for. So let's have some more appreciation for the slow growing plants, shall we? Because I don't have to feel super anxious about this getting too big anytime soon. I mean, same with this euphorbia. Like, I know it has the potential to get big. I'm looking forward to it getting big, but I've got so much time to figure out my life before then. You couldn't tell that was kind of a joke, because I don't think I'm gonna have everything figured out a few years from now, but at least like I can procrastinate that thought to the future. I know I won't have to deal with it anytime soon. Thank you so much for watching. And this was honestly just like such a nice moment of levity after the terror that thrips has wreaked upon my life. So I'm gonna get back to treating said thrips, but I'm happy that at least some of my plants are happy. So yeah, let me know if you have any favorite plants for the month of November. Let me know how your plants are doing as you're going into the winter time. I'm hoping to be able to kind of do a walkthrough of my collection and see where everything's at. I like to do updates on my plants and kind of walk through them, especially as I'm transitioning seasons. Thrips have sort of like thrown a wrench in that. It's not going to be as nice and smooth as I wanted it to be, but alas, it's okay. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, please feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe. All those things are super helpful for my channel, and I hope that you have a wonderful and blessed day. Bye-bye!